Hey YouTube. So I was just curious. Um, I'm thinking about possibly starting a podcast on a separate channel. So basically, I would keep this channel, I would keep posting on it, but it would be meant for smaller videos, like just quick, like anywhere between 1 minute to like maybe 8 or 9 minutes at most, videos that length. And I would start a podcast on another channel that would be more like at least an hour or so. Now, the podcast would begin with the first episodes just being me, just talking. And I might even keep it like that if I do this. But I think also if I were to do it, um, I would have guests on eventually. So I would email. I think like what I'm thinking in my head is possibly people that I know in real life. Um, People that I know online that aren't necessarily like famous people or anything like that. And then if I could, I think I would want to email. I don't like this word, but like influencers and quote unquote famous people. But even if they're not like ridiculously famous or anything like that, just people who have a following and would be willing to come on my podcast through a Zoom call or whatever. Because I don't have the money for a studio or anything like that. Um, like this is something I wouldn't do for money. This is something I would do just for fun because it just kind of feels good to think about it sometimes. Um, you know those YouTube tarot readers? So in like two of those readers, I not I read I saw videos for Pisces tarot readings on YouTube. I'm a Pisces, and they two different people both said that Pisces would have a podcast soon. Now it's a general reading, so they're general readings, so they don't apply for everyone. But I had my own visions. Um, Probably about anywhere between like 1 to 2 months ago, and they said those visions said that I would have a podcast, that I was going to have one soon, which is only going to come true if I decide to act on it. So um, there's that. But I feel like I'm being guided to do this. It's just I don't know if I want to commit to that yet because I want to take care of my mental health. Because lately I've been so before the past few days, um, earlier this week, I was in a really good place. Like I was joyful for like no reason at all, like really joyful. Just there was nothing on my mind. There was nothing I was doing. I was just feeling really happy. Um, well, I think it was triggered because I started getting spiritual coaching, and that was like the activation that caused that joy. But then just like yesterday and today and maybe the day before yesterday, um, I've been struggling. A lot of psychic attacks and stuff like that. Um, so I want to make sure I'm mentally well first before I do anything like committing to starting a podcast. But the reason why I'm making this video is because I'm asking to any of my followers on here on YouTube who would be interested in me, like who would want to watch my podcast if I were to start a podcast? Who would go over to my new channel and subscribe and want to keep up with what I post? So please leave a comment letting me know that you're interested because I'm really not actively seeking like success on the internet or anything like that. Um, like I'm not seeking fame really or anything like that. Um, I don't have a desire to be like really successful in anything really. So it would only be for fun. And what was I trying to say? Sorry, I like sometimes I forget what I'm talking about because it's part of the spirit attachment and the schizophrenia. But yeah, like if you're interested in watching that, then just message me. Not message me. Comment on this video, letting me know that you're interested and you would want to see what I have to talk about for like an hour or 2 hours. Um, yeah, and if you'd like to see guests come on, then comment about that. Um, what else? Yeah, I would only want to. This is what I was trying to say is I would only want to start this podcast because people are interested in watching it, not because it's like a real like I almost want to say dream of mine. It is a passion. Like when I think about it, it feels good, but like it's not something that I'm like really like I have to start a podcast. Like I want to do this. It's more like it would feel good if I were to do it, but I would only want to do it if like other people were like benefiting from it. And I'm not I don't care about like success or fame or anything like that. What I'm only really interested in is I guess like making others happy with the things I post. Um so yeah, if you're interested in what I have to say, obviously the podcast would be about like spirituality and magic and possibly like poetry, music, um, mental health, anything else that goes on in my life or whatever. That's what it would be about. So yeah, maybe a little philosophy or intellectual things. Not politics. I probably wouldn't go into politics. Um, I try to keep politics out of my life. Um, so yeah, if you'd be interested in watching this podcast, give me a comment and anything else you want to tell me that you think would kind of like convince me to like do this. Because if I had like even just a few people, even just like I think like 3 or 4 people telling me that they would be interested, I probably would do it. I would order like a USB microphone and I would use my camcorder to record and I'd speak for like an hour or 2 hours and in time maybe get guests on Zoom calls and talk about like I know people that are into spiritual things and in person, and I know people that I met online that live like in other places that I've never met in person that may be interested in coming on the show. So yeah, let me know what you think. Peace.